Hello and welcome to Coffee Talk, the place where we have amazing conversations. We share inspiring stories. Today we have a very special guest. His name is Hector del Norte. He's an already accomplished singer and songwriter from Mexico, but has decided to travel the world. Hector del Norte.
How are you?
Alberto.
I'm super nice here in this beautiful park. This is my first time here, so I'm very happy, very happy.
That's great. So Hector, so a lot of people don't know you. So, what do you do? Tell me a little bit about yourself.
Well, I'm a musician, singer, songwriter, as you said. I started making music when I was 10 years old.
Wow.
I wrote my first song when I was at secondary, because I came from like my in my mother's side, my all of them, my uncle, my cousins, they're musicians. Yeah, my grandpa, he was a mariachi in Mexico. So I came from a musician's family, and I said to my parents that I wanted to learn guitar. So I went to private classes like for 2 months. Then I started just watching videos on YouTube, and yeah, like I was just like playing guitar in my bed like every day, every hour. So I took only like 2 classes, and the rest it was just like practicing. And then I started writing songs. Then I had a band when I was like 15 at high school.
Okay.
And yeah, like I mean, 5 years ago I started this project Hector del Norte, which now is my project, which is like is going very well. And yeah, but basically I'm writing songs and singing and doing all this thing.
Hector, do you remember your first song?
Yeah.
Remember your first song that you wrote?
Yeah. It was for this girl in secondary. My first song was about a girl that she was in second grade. Second grade?
Yeah.
And I was in first grade. The name was Si Supieras, which is like if you know in English, let's say it.
So it's like a crush kind of song.
Exactly.
Your first crush.
Exactly. So yeah, I wrote it. Yeah, she never heard the song, but
Oh, I was gonna ask you that.
no, I never even spoke with her. Never.
Cheers.
Cheers, coffee. I don't usually drink coffee without sugar, but it's gonna be the first time.
Hector, so you are already an accomplished musician. When do you know that you are a songwriter, or how do you know you are a songwriter? What is a songwriter?
Yeah, well, you know, this first song that I wrote, Si Supieras, I was 10 years old or 11, maybe 11 when I wrote it, and I can't even explain, like still like nowadays people ask me like how do you make to write songs? I don't know how to explain. I just grab my guitar and start like playing some chords, and then melodies comes to my mind, and that's how I start writing a song. So, and I remember that my parents they listened one of my songs one day. I mean, they were listening my song because they were like, "Oh, look, mom, I wrote this song," and she was listening. She was like, "Oh, good," and my dad as well, because he always support me in music. So yeah, I was realizing that, and they were telling me also like your melodies are good, like the music that you write is good. Yeah, like I realized that I have talent on making music.
That is really cool. I wanted to ask, what do you do to motivate yourself?
You know, like this is a very good question. So a very good question, Mario, because like, you know, like I've never had this feeling of
What?
that I wanna do like. I never had this feeling of like, oh, I should quit, I should stop this thing. Never. I don't know how to explain it, but all my life, for me, I think I came to this world just to make music, you know? Like, that's why I don't have, for me, I remember my mom said to me once, when I was in Mexico, like, oh, you must have to have a plan B in case that your plan A doesn't work, you know? But the thing is, like, she was telling me, like, oh, you must have a plan B in case the plan A doesn't work. And I was like, no, I don't want a plan B. Like, I just have one plan A, and that has to work.
So plan A is plan B.
Exactly. Yeah. So, like, yeah, that's why I've never had this feeling, because for me, it's just like, I don't have other choice. Like, sometimes, yeah, I feel like a little bit maybe sad, let's say it, because it's like, fuck, I would like to get my songs like to get more listeners, like to I would like to grow up more. But I never had this feeling of, oh, maybe I'm not enough, I should stop. No, because I don't see myself doing other thing that like I only see myself making music.
That is so cool. Hector, you collaborated with some big stars. What are some of the things that you are really, really proud of? Like some of the accomplishments, the shiny things that you're like, I am glad I did this. And also, what did that to you? Let's just start.
Yeah. Well, I feel so far my biggest collaboration, featuring that I have is with Lupillo Rivera. I don't know, yeah, you know. So that's the biggest thing that I've reached, and I feel proud. And basically, it's because like most of the things that I've reached so far in music, I've reached it from myself. Like I've never got help from anyone. I've never had managers, never had people who says like, oh, I want to invest in your. Never. Like nowadays, I invest on my own project. I am the one who pays for videos, who pays for music production, who pays for everything. So like I feel proud basically of everything that I've done, because everything that I've done, I've reached it by myself. But I feel like the most important thing so far is my audience on TikTok and Instagram, where I have like a lot of followers, and also this business which I create, Del Norte Corridos.
Talk about that.
Yeah.
So what is this Del Norte Correos? Because it looks like you did something very great, like this collaboration with the big stars, but then you have discovered to make your own, to basically to create your own path, to make your own way to fame, or to sustain yourself doing what you like.
Yeah.
How are you working with that?
Yeah, well, this company of Del Norte Corridos, it was super funny because I never expect that I was gonna be making a living of making corridos to people,
Yeah, that's right.
Like that doesn't exist. I mean, in Mexico you can make a corrido, but you need to know a composer and you can ask him. But in my case, people, they are watching my videos, and because of that, they're coming to me and they're sending me messages. So
You are the person to go. So for those who do not know, corrido is a Mexican song style, and basically it's just the life story of somebody.
exactly.
It's about what they've done, and it's mostly done in like in a way to tell the story on a very kind of glorious way.
Exactly. And like when I try to explain this like to people here, like they are like, what? Like, is it real that someone can pay to someone to write a song by itself? And I was like, yeah. I mean, in Mexico, this has been like since 1910 or something like that, before the Mexican Revolution. Yeah.
Mexico has a really long history of on corrido.
Yeah.
Which is basically like it's basically like social media.
Yeah.
Like literally, because through the singing of songs, you hear the story of somebody, and that person becomes viral, and
Yeah.
in just a very classic way, let's say.
And like for example, I don't know if you know, but like nowadays the first song in the global radar in Spotify, it's a corrido.
What? Hector, so I mean, in many ways, you are already famous, and you are already, let's just say, making it. And you are originally from Mexico, and most people like to stay where they are if they can make a living. Why leave something so great? I mean, you already have a good following, you already know how to make some money. Why go to Australia, and why this place, Poland? Like, why?
Yeah, well, like Australia was before all this. I think before, first was Australia, then it was this thing that I started becoming viral in Latin America and Mexico. Yeah, but basically this Hector del Norte project starts when I was in Australia, because first I went to Australia to study English, and I started playing at the streets there. The second day that I arrived to Australia, I took my guitar and I went to the train station. Only with my guitar, I didn't have microphones, nothing, like just my guitar. And I remember that I was a little bit nervous because I've never did this in Mexico anywhere. So, but I started singing, and all the time, like I've had, and this is a very important thing, like all the time since I arrived to Australia, I wanted to sing in Spanish. I know that it was in an English-speaking country, but when I arrived to Australia, like it was hard because like when they were asking me, what's your name? I was like, Hector. How people knows me in Mexico was Toby Mendoza, because my friend used to call me Toby, because my surname is Tobar. So it's like Tobar, Toby, you know. I couldn't say Toby. And also, I was like feeling very proud of being from Latin America. And I say like, if I put my name like Toby, it's not gonna sound Latino, you know. So I start like, okay, Hector. So I was thinking like, how should I call myself? And then I remember that people were asking me all the time, like, because I was singing in Spanish, so they were coming like Latin American people or even Australians, and they were like, oh, where are you from? I'm from Mexico. What part of Mexico? And I was like, oh, from Monterrey. And I saw their faces. They didn't know where was Monterrey, you know. So I was like, North Mexico, del Norte. So I was like, okay, I'm Hector, and I'm from North. Hector del Norte, you know.
And it works.
Yeah, and it's working.
It's catchy.
That's why, as I told you, like basically this project of Hector del Norte started when I was in Australia, when I was playing in the streets. And then when I went back to Mexico, I started making these TikToks, start becoming viral. And well, why Poland? that's the question that everyone made. Why Poland? Well, it's because when I was in Australia, I met this girl. She was my ex, and she was from Poland.
It's like super classic story. The Polish ladies are so dangerous. Then you say, hey, let's just go for a little bit, and then just here forever.
Yeah, but the thing is, like, I was with her when we were in Australia, and the plan was first to come to Poland, you know. But then we went to Mexico because of the COVID. We couldn't be playing on the streets, so we went back to Mexico, and she stayed there for 2 months. Then she came back to Poland. Then we have some like problems, so we broke up, and so I couldn't came, you know, and I couldn't come to Poland. Like that was 3 years ago. So I was like a little bit sad, let's say, and I wrote a song for her, you know. I wrote this song for her. I made a video on TikTok for her. It became super popular in Mexico. They were playing it in radio, basically. Like once I was like driving, and this is like Club de los Dolidos, de Hector del Norte. Yeah, El Club de los Dolidos. Yeah. So like people, they were knowing me like in YouTube, like reached like 13 millions of views, and because of this song that I've made to this girl, I start making videos on TikTok. I start becoming viral. I start getting opportunities in music because people were like, oh, who's this guy? They start following me on Instagram. I start growing up a lot. And then I start getting like these kind of jobs of making corridos for people. And well, I started doing very well. And then I decided to travel because I was like, well, now I can make a living of music. So
Sure.
Why would I stay in one place when I can be like basically around the world? So I started traveling. I went to Argentina, Colombia, Chile, and now Poland.
Are you planning to stay? Planning to move on? What's the plan? And what's your experience so far?
Yeah, at the beginning it was just like I'm gonna see like how is like life here. But I liked it. I would like to stay. Like nowadays you see like the weather is super amazing. And because when I arrived, it was super cold, and I was like, what am I doing here? Like,
in winter time.
Yeah, I was like, what am I doing here? I don't like weather. I don't like cold weather. But for example, now today, for example, I would say like it's like my first day that I come out and I see like people on the streets and like everything's super nice. So yeah, I liked it. Plus, like honestly, in these 2 months, I've met like a lot of super nice people. Like for example, you are like a very good friend. And it's just crazy because I've been meeting like super quick a lot of people, and they are telling me, most of the people, nice people, and they tell me like, oh, I like your music. Polish people, they like my music. Actually, I played the day that 2 days ago.
2 days ago.
I played in this place Macondo, and this girl from Poland, she was like, oh, it was really nice to hear you singing in Polish because mostly we have only like rap, rock, and I don't know what other styles, but listening you singing bachata with Polish is like, it's nice to hear, you know, the language.
How's that? Are you learning from Polish?
I will. I'm thinking to take some lessons. But yeah, it is. I know my ex, she told me that Polish is like I don't know if it's the most difficult language in the world or something like that. But yeah, it is. But yeah, I want to learn. I mean, I like to learn things all the time, and a new language I think is good for everyone, no? Like if you want to learn something new, it's always good to learn something new.
What's new? What is it that you want to do here in Poland? Are you planning to do something in Poland? What's new for for Hector del Norte in Poland?
Well, I really wanna get um, Polish audience. So and as I said, like since I arrived here, I've seen like many Polish people, especially girls, like, oh, I love the way you sing, I love your music. And I have a friend from Ukraine. She was like, you know what, like, I don't really like Latin music, but your music, it's like, yeah. Patrick, you know your friend Patrick, like he said to me the first time, like, you know, like, I don't really listen like a lot of Latin music, but your music is just like, I don't know, there's something in your voice, blah, blah. So I've heard like a lot of things in like in this month, 2 months that I've been here, that it really makes me feel motivated to keep going and to get more gigs and to, you know, like make noise here in Poland.
Yeah, I really like your style, Hector. Because you said that you didn't want to sing corridos because it requires a very specific kind of
Yeah, boys,
voice.
timber.
Your style is different, and I really like it. It's very catchy. I like the CC
Sí, sí.
song. Oh my goodness, this is cool. It's kind of catchy.
Yeah, you know, like actually, like for example, when I make songs, for me, that's the most important thing. Like for me, if it's not catchy, I don't keep writing the song. Like it really needs to be catchy for me. And yeah, the song of Sisi, it was the first song that I wrote in Spanish, and the chorus is in Polish. And my friend Daria, she helped me actually on writing the translating basically the lyrics to Polish. And yeah, but you know, like it was funny because when I was singing in Macondo, I was reading because I didn't remember how was the pronunciation, but I wrote the phrases the same as it sounds for me. Like I didn't write it like correctly, you know? Yeah. But I mean, at the end of the day, the people were like, "Oh, you pronounce very good Polish." They were like, "Oh, good, thank you."
All right, Hector, let me take a little small break, and then we'll come back to the conversation.
Perfect, perfect.
And this segment is brought to you by AM Coffee.
En Hector del Norte. El Norte Corridos.
And we're back with Hector del Norte. What's the difference having such a following both here and in Mexico?
Well, it's you know, it's I think it's in both sides. It's like almost the same, but I feel like maybe here because of the language, that's why it has more impact on people because they. I mean, I didn't know like they like that much Latin music, like, and you know, like it's weird because they don't speak Spanish. The people here, like the way that they are, it's super different than Latin American people. You know, like people here, they're like more, not everyone, you know, but like you feel them like more serious, like different. They're super different, you know, and even though music connects, like Latin American music connects with them, and they enjoy the the reggaeton, salsa, bachata. They loved it. So I really like that people enjoy my music, and yeah, I would really love to grow up more here and as an artist here in Poland, in Europe.
Are you planning to stay in Poland?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, when I arrived, I wasn't sure, but now, yeah, I wanna stay longer.
That's very good. The point of this podcast is to inspire people to do, to meet people that are doing great things like yourself, and to basically get inspired by what other people do. Do you have any last minute advice for people who might be thinking about doing something but they don't have the courage, or they are thinking about doing something but they just want to? What would you advise people who are thinking about doing something with music?
You know, I have this thing that I always say, that you always can like hack your life, you know, like you can always make it easier because, you know, like I always ask myself, why are we here in this world? Like why do we come here? What's the point? To do stuff that you don't want to do, or just to enjoy the world and be happy, you know? I think that's the main reason why we are here, to enjoy the world and to be happy and to do good things, and that's it. I think that's the main thing. I don't think that you come to this world to suffer, like working or doing something in that you don't really like. because I'm not against the people who works in office who makes, because I know that everyone has different skills and everyone can do different stuff. But if you are doing something that you don't really like to do, so so just change it. You know, it's easy. It's easy. Like the things that maybe at the beginning can seem that it's hard, but you need to do it. Like for me, it was not that quick and easy. Like I was singing at the streets in Australia for 3 years. Sometimes I was making good money. Sometimes I was making like nothing. Sometimes I was coming back home with zero money. I was working also as a dishwasher in United States like for 6 months. I was like working 6 days per week. You know how like immigrants they work in United States. Like it's just incredible. Like more than 12 hours sometimes working. I was getting home like with my feet like hurting me a lot. I work in Australia also as a dishwasher, so it's not that easy, you know. And nowadays I feel like now I feel I'm enjoying like the whole work that I've done like in the past years, but it wasn't easy. But at the end of the day, I'm always loyal to my to my to the way that I think that I want to make music, and that's the most important, to be loyal to yourself. And in my case, it's like as I said, I'm not gonna do anything which is, if it's not music. I don't see myself doing other thing which is not music. Of course, I would like to, I don't know, like I don't know, open another business, like a restaurant or something like that. But music is just not an option that I'm gonna quit. So I would say that that's the my advice, like just to be loyal, you know, to your thoughts.
Just kind of be honest in yourself.
Hmm.
Hector, do you have any upcoming events? Anything that you would like to plug in today?
Yeah,
Week?
I'm gonna be singing. I mean, I already got 3 gigs here in Poland, and I already played like in this place of Barbasar in Macondo. And but my next gig is gonna be in Teatro Cubano
Okay.
in Krakow.
Oh wow.
Yeah, so I'm gonna be singing there in Krakow on May 6th. Yeah, May 6th. So yeah, and I mean, I hope to start getting more gigs, but yeah, so far I'm gonna be playing there.
Well, it's been a really amazing conversation, Hector. Thank you so much.
No, thank you, thank you for inviting. This is a very good idea of like recording like outside, because I feel like no one does it. So you are the first one, and yeah, it really feels good because at the end of the day, this is like a normal conversation.
Thank you so much, Hector.
Perfecto, Mario. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Hector.